Hey, Besting Bob members, Joe Graffin here. You guys are in for a treat today. I'm with Dion Hibdon. He's the Bassmaster Classic champion and the Forest Wood Cup champion. And today we're going to be doing the weekly report. So I'm going to start off by asking a few questions. How do you think the bite's been throughout this past week and throughout the weekend?
I think it's been pretty good. Really the fish are all up. The bulk of the fish are up on the banks. They're trying to spawn a little bit. Some of them are done, some of them are yet to come. I fished today, and I think I actually was around fish that were in all three stages of the game. I don't think many of them's out off the bank yet, too far. That's, because I'm not seeing much fry. Normally you got to get a little bit of fry along the banks before you get some females moving out to those secondaries and closest points, to the spawning areas. There's probably a little bit of that happening, but you're kind of pushing that. You still, I think, need to be fishing the bank and the spawning areas and stuff like that. I had a couple of big ones blow up on a topwater this morning. I caught one of them. But other than that, like I say, you just need to fish slow around the banks and look for little hidey holes that you think one might spawn. And I don't like getting close to them. I'm not one that likes to see them that much. I can do that, but I don't like doing that. I'd rather just sit back and throw. And I throw a little Carolina rig. I throw a wacky worm around. I throw a Texas rig worm around quite a bit this time of the year. So it's and fishing's good right now. Everything's, anytime you get the bulk of the fish in Lake of the Ozarks doing one thing, and that is being on the bank, that means there's a big fish population on the bank. So, they're not split up yet. Some of them deep, some of them shallow. They're still 99% of them, I would say, are shallow right now. And when I say that, 6 foot or less. If you do fish a point or something like that, make sure it's close to a spawning area. Secondary stuff and even secondary stuff. Really back end stuff. Those females hang out a lot. To say they spend much time up there spawning, they don't, but they're still hanging out close. They're within a few yards of where the beds are and stuff. So, there's a lot of times I just fish. I fish around the docks and stuff, this time of the year a lot, because that's where those females hang out. They
Fish on the backside of the docks?
Well, backside, shallow, front side, it depends on how shallow the dock is. Depends on where you're at. If you're on the deeper docks, and they're naturally going to be on the back sides of them. So like I say, 6, 7 foot or less is where the bulk of the bass are right now. But the nice thing about that, the water's clearing up, and you can catch them a variety of ways. You can still catch them on a jerkbait. I caught 2 or 3 on a jerkbait today. Stuff like that. I kind of prefer slow-moving baits. I'm kind of a big jig fisherman, Carolina rig, Texas rig, stuff like that. And so that's kind of what I like to do right now. But like I say, a good little jerkbait, throw it up there around the bank, working it through that, 3 to 5 foot strike zone it's pretty deadly right now too. So you catch a lot of fish that way. The only thing you got to keep in mind right now is the ones that haven't spawned yet, they're not big chasers. They don't want to chase stuff, so you got to kind of give them an offering that they can catch pretty easy, and so you can move too fast real easy to catch a big one right now. So fish slow, and like I say, stay in the right depth of water, and you'll do all right now.
Yeah, well, that's some great information. If you, I think there's quite a few tournaments this weekend. If a guy was coming from St. Louis or Kansas City to fish this lake and they haven't been on it in a while, what's 3 baits that you could give them, and kind of the area to fish it, and how to go about approaching the lake with no practice?
Well, I would naturally start out with a topwater in the morning. When fish are up shallow around trying to think about spawning and stuff, a topwater is a really good offering and that can be whatever your favorite is. It really doesn't matter. For the most part, I throw a spook a lot, or a spook type bait, and I throw a jerkbait a lot. And when I throw a jerkbait, a lot of times I work it up shallow. I keep it up in the strike zone. I keep it up pretty shallow. In the water column, I don't get too deep with it most of the time. I use it more as a topwater than a jerkbait.
Right.
Floating worm. Floating worm's going to catch a lot of fish right now. and then whichever your favorite is between a light Carolina rig, a jig, or a worm.
Yeah.
You know, would be what I would throw right
Yeah.
now this time of the year.
We went out Friday, and I went out with Jekka, so we did a video on how to, skip dock. So that's a good video too. You guys can check that out on the video tab there.
The big ones, for every one that you see, there's a half a dozen that's hiding that you can't see.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you got to keep in mind. So, so pitching around the docks and stuff will catch you a lot of fish right now.
Right. Yeah. With the warm weather we're supposed to have this weekend, and a lot of the fish being near the bank, what do you think that'll have as far as the effect of the fish? Whether they'll move off the bank towards brush piles?
No, I don't think they'll move off. I think if anything, what ones see, they really wanted to spawn about 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Actually during the big bass bash, they were really wanting to do it then, but we had a few cool nights, and the water temperature wasn't quite right. Right now the water temperature is perfect, and if we get these 70-degree days for the next 3 or 4 days, what ones haven't done it will probably do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of those fish will move on up to spawn and stuff. You might, like I say, you might catch a few fish off some of those secondary points, but there's not going to be a ton of them way out yet.
Yeah.
The bulk of the fish are going to stay shallow, I think, throughout the weekend.
And you can catch them fishing the same baits, jerk baits and Senko.
Yep, just fishing up shallow. Just fish shallow with. And when I say that, I'm not evading the question. Right now, you can catch them on anything you want to throw for the most part, because there's so many up there. It's just, it's kind of whatever your preference is. If you like throwing a tube, throw a tube.
Yeah.
If you like throwing a jig, throw a jig. I prefer a Texas rig this time of the year, a lot. And like I say, I throw a Texas rig lizard, I throw a Texas rig worm. You can just catch a lot of fish on kind of whatever you want to throw right now up shallow. It's one of the only time of the year that really your bait selection doesn't have much to do with it. It's what you do with it. That's fishing slow. Fish it slow where they live and where they're doing their deal. So, like I say, and that's 7-8 foot or less. Is what it is.
And I've been seeing a lot of current being generated through the dam too. How far away do you think we are from them fish getting in them structured places?
I would think that it'd be, it's still going to be a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a couple weeks before you start, throwing a big spoon, throwing a swim bait, some of that stuff out on some of those current oriented points. That current's a good thing though. I mean, that's an awesome deal when you can get it really congregates them up.
Mm-hmm.
When these fish get done with the bank, they want to go feed, and when they do, that current's a big deal. It's fun. It's good for them. It's good for us. It really narrows down where they're going to live, but to say that the tournament this weekend, any of the tournaments this weekend are going to be won out there, I don't think there's enough of them done yet. I think the bulk of them are still, spawning, in the act of spawning, or just barely done. And see, the thing of it is, when they right as soon as they get done spawning, they kind of go into a funk. The big ones, they spend a week or two where they just don't want to do nothing, and that's when you see her floating around up under a dock. And you can skip anything under the sun to her and she'll just turn and swim away from it, and they're not doing that yet, so I don't think that's yet happened yet. So I think it's at least a couple weeks. The nice thing about the current though, it makes them move faster. They want to be out there. As soon as they're done, they know, oh man, I can go out there and eat all the shad I want, so it's definitely a good deal as far as that goes. They move a little bit quicker than they used to, but I think it's a couple weeks away.
That's some great information. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks, Dion. Like I said, we got some other videos up there. Go check them out as well. We'll be doing another report here by the end of next week. So, thank you.